some more, and they're an extra point away from tying the game.
And we say good evening, happy Sunday, happy Thanksgiving week. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard Sports Media coming at you live on a Sunday evening. And it is finally here, my favorite week of the college football season, Rivalry Week. Rivalry weekend. I know that's what we say, but we got some Thursday games. We got a couple games on Wednesday too. We're going to preview the Egg Bowl tonight between Mississippi State and Ole Miss, who almost had it for the West, losing to LSU a couple weeks ago, last week, I think, and almost had it, almost had control of the division, but obviously, it is what it is, and if you're how do I put this? Hold on, let me make sure it's something. Give me 1 second. Let me check YouTube real quick because my computer keeps acting up just a little bit, so. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard, Wednesday too. We're going to preview the Egg Bowl tonight between Mississippi State and Ole Miss, who almost had it for the West, losing to LSU a couple weeks ago. Okay. It seems like it's going through, so if it does freeze up on my end, I'm sure it's going to be good for you guys. So I'm just going to keep going and keep talking. But again, we want to preview the Egg Bowl tonight. You look at Ole Miss, who almost had it for the West. LSU beats them. LSU clinches said West Division in the SEC. And bragging rights there. Now they're on a mission to upset Georgia here next week. Or 2 weeks, however you want to look at it. This week is rivalry weekend. For me, next week is conference weekend. I'm looking at this like yesterday's history, man. Yesterday, this past weekend in college football, that's last week. This week is rivalry week. Next week, LSU's looking to beat Georgia and pull an upset. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's what they're looking to do. But Ole Miss almost had the West. Alabama, they needed they needed some sparks. They needed Arkansas to beat LSU. That didn't happen, unfortunately. But speaking of, we'll preview the Egg Bowl tonight because that's on Thursday on Thanksgiving at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. That's going to be a great game. It's a good rivalry. When you watch it, I think the matchup in coaching and even in quarterback play, I think Will Rogers, one of the more underrated guys, underappreciated guys in the SEC, going up against Jackson Dart. And then you look at Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin, two offensive gurus go head-to-head. Got to give them props. That's going to be something to look at. But the first thing we want to talk about tonight, first thing on the list as we get rivalry week kicked off. What makes a great rivalry in college football? Is it competition? Does it have to be competitive and not one-sided? I mentioned the Iron Bowl a lot, and I get so pumped up and hyped for it no matter where it's played every single year. And, this year Auburn does not have a really good team although things are looking in a good direction with Cadillac Williams as the head coach. Um, it's going to be a bloodbath, I would assume. I think Alabama just outright owns Auburn in this game. I mean, I'm not going to sleep on it too much because it's still one of those games. Anything can happen. I say it all the time. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments. What makes a good, I say good, great college football rivalry? You know, when you look at um, college football, there's a lot of great rivalries in the sport, or there's technically, in this case, there's a lot of good rivalries. We want to look at some great rivalries. And I feel like it's more than historic. I think it's got to be number one, it's got to be historic, but it's got to be competitive. I think those two things, like, here's the thing South Carolina and Clemson, or Clemson, South Carolina, however you want to put it. What's it called? The Palmetto Bowl, which maybe this week I'll probably preview that game even. We won't do that tonight, but Clemson, South Carolina, the Palmetto Bowl. It's a good rivalry. It's a good rivalry, for sure. Is it a great rivalry? Well, Clemson's won the past 7 against South Carolina. It's been a while since South Carolina's won in that series. I'd have to pull it up to tell you exactly what Clemson's win streak is. But they've owned South Carolina. Is it great? It is for Clemson. But for college football fans, do you look at a rivalry like that and, say this is a great rivalry? This is great rivalry. This is a great game. This is a great. Not anymore, you don't. Because it hasn't been competitive. It's been one-sided. The Iron Bowl. You have to go back only 3 years the last time Auburn beat Alabama. Before that, you had to go back 2 years. Then you had to go back 4 years. Then you had to go back 3 years. Then you had to go back another 3 years. Something along those lines, It seems that Alabama and Auburn, they go back and forth a little bit. And it seems like it's every 3 to 4 years, it kind of switches itself up, and Auburn pulls an upset over Alabama, which kind of keeps the fire going in the Iron Bowl rivalry, if you get what I'm saying. Michigan, Ohio State. Now, that's an interesting one. That's a historic, important, and great. See, I just said it. A great rivalry. It's very historic. It's the game. But before last year, when Michigan beat Ohio State, before last year, Jim Harbaugh had yet to beat Ohio State, which is why he was hired in the first place, because Michigan could not beat Ohio State. They had lost, 8 or 9 in a row? So I want to hear from you guys in the chat. I see we got some comments. Let me scroll over to these. What makes a great rivalry in college football? Let's see. All of it, says Nate. I mean, obviously, you got to be a little more specific. He does go in competitive than the fans. Okay, so Nate says, what makes a great rivalry? Because every rivalry is good. Every rivalry is good. You look at a rivalry, you say it's good. It's like, oh, this is good. This is good for the game. This is interesting. All right, we got a rivalry going. There's some tension. There's some hate on both sides. It's good. But when you say a rivalry is great, you're saying, oh my God, this is incredible. This is what it's supposed to be. So Nate says, competitive than the fans. So the fan bases and competitiveness. I think passion by fan bases, loyalty by fans and players and coaches and matchups, and I think that's very important to the game. Is it competitive? That's a big question too. Um, and Nate even kind of confirms that here just a minute ago. The fan bases and the competitiveness of the game. I would fully agree. I think like, okay, if Josh Heupel in Tennessee are on track to have success, and it's not just this season, hypothetically speaking, we don't know. We'll wait and see what happens. I think the recruiting is great, though. Give them credit there. The third Saturday in October, they just won for the first time in 16 years. I don't want to take focus off rivalry weekend type of games, but if the third Saturday rivalry is a rivalry, and I hate to rip on that. I love the game. I think it's a great traditional game, and I think it is a rivalry. It's very historic. Um, you know, if Heupel is legit for Tennessee, if they're for real, if they're not going anywhere, which we don't know, right? This could be a once in a lifetime type of team that failed to win a national championship, and it was a big waste, right? Let's say if they're not going anywhere, can we expect down the road them to win the third Saturday more often, them to make it more competitive, them to re-spark that rivalry with Alabama? I didn't mean to take my focus off of this weekend. It just kind of popped in my head, and I thought it would be a great example. Thank you for that compliment, Hummus Hero. It's good to see you, sir. But I want to hear from you guys. Nate brought up some good points. The fan bases, competitiveness of the game, competitive rivalries. He jokes says the mascots matter. I think anytime you have, like, win streaks are great to have in a rivalry if you're the team with the win streak. If you're the team with a win streak in against your rival, that's great for you. But what about the college football fans that are not a fan? Like, okay, Michigan, Ohio State. Let's use that for example. Ohio State, like I mentioned, had an 8-game win streak over Michigan before last year. If you're not a Buckeye or a Wolverine, chances are you want to watch that rivalry because it's historically great, but you waited too long for Michigan, right? And that's fair. You want it to go back and forth every single year. That's what makes a great rivalry. There's people think that Alabama is just about national championships. To an extent, that's the standard. That's the standard. But even Nick Saban has said, we have an opponent in this state and we work 365 days of the year to dominate. He was talking about Auburn back when he first got here. Maybe he said it in like 2008. He said that. Coach Bear Bryant said he was asked one time when Alabama back in the 60s or 70s had a chance at a title and they were working towards that. But the team to beat was Notre Dame. He said, I'd love to beat Notre Dame, but trust me when I say nothing matters more to me. And he referred to Auburn. Coach Bear Bryant did. He said, nothing matters more to me than beating the Cal College on the other side of the state. Whew, shots fired. What makes a great rivalry in college football? Right? Every single one. Bragging rights on the line. What about okay, the past couple seasons, right? Even before Michigan ended the losing streak, there was still on the line and on the table championship implications. The Iron Bowl has had that before. Georgia, okay. I want to hear from you guys in the comments on this. I'm running out of stuff to say. Let me know what makes a great rivalry in college football, please. Help me out. But let me switch gears here, and then we'll drop the link. Because I do want to get you guys on tonight. Georgia Tech, to the fans, it is a very big rivalry. And it is. It is historically great. Georgia hasn't always whooped up on Georgia Tech. But, like, come on. Right now, Georgia, even though I rip on them, and I apologize, I got a lot of respect for Kirby Smart and Georgia fans and Georgia. Give credit where credit is due. They are the cream of the crop. They're up here. They're a tier 1. They're working to build championships. They're working to do all that. Compare that to Georgia. Look, Georgia's here. Georgia Tech's like, you can't even see my hand. They're right down here. It's nowhere close. But is it still a good rivalry? Clean, old-fashioned hate. Very historic. It's good. There's a difference between good and great. I'll drop the StreamYard link. We'll get you guys on. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about what makes a great rivalry in college football, because I think it starts with having great competitiveness on both sides from both teams. All right. Drop the link. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube tonight. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Coming up this week, I'm thankful for a lot of stuff. Friends, family, college football, all of you guys on here. Thankful that I, live in this great country called America, that we have freedoms and the rights that we have today, not to get off on a tangent or anything, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm just thankful to have and blessed to be a part of. Let's see. What's up, Steve Pearson? I still want to beat Tech, of course, but I put Tennessee and Florida ahead of them right now on hated rivals. Yeah. I mean, look, Georgia, Florida can be competitive. Georgia, Tennessee, if Tennessee's on a good track, are they going to fight 2016 or something? I don't know. Great rivalries. I mean, Steve says he wants to beat Tech, but he puts Tennessee and Florida ahead of them. Yeah, of course. I mean, the most hated rival for Alabama is always going to be Auburn. That's just history right there for you. But, is it the most competitive that Alabama has? I would say the most competitive that Alabama has is LSU. I think that's fair. But it's very close. Most hated, though, got to be Auburn. Got to be. What's up, Nate?
What's up, Alan? How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man? You ready to talk the game tomorrow?
I am.
Yeah. So we'll do a live stream tomorrow with Nate, and we'll talk about Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah, how important it is to the rivalry and for both teams and fan bases. Yeah, that's for tomorrow. But like you said, it's rivalry week. Can't wait. But I do want to tell you this that Blake Corum is not. He's coming back. Coming back, in my view, but I don't know if he is or not. He's questionable, so that means he might come back. He might not. So if he doesn't come back, it's probably a bloodbath of a game. So, because
So is he basically at this point a game time decision? Is that fair to say?
yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, and plus I think it's the left knee. I think, but I saw him on the sideline doing the bicycle, or treadmill, whatever it is,
Yeah.
during Illinois game. In case that game was a really, actually, I think that was a defensive game, to be honest, the whole time. The offenses, good, but not really great. But in my book, Michigan should have blown them out, but they didn't. It was just a defensive battle all game. So I don't want to hear a lot of fan bases say, "Oh, Michigan struggled." Yeah, a lot of teams struggled like this past week. So did Ohio State to Maryland, to a really good Maryland team that played close with Michigan at Michigan Stadium. So,
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, Sorgi?
Not much. I'm just chilling. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
We're talking with rivalry week. I figured we'd talk rivalries and have some fun this week.
Alrighty.
So answer this question here I got up on the screen. What do you think makes a great rivalry in college football?
Number one, this doesn't apply to every rivalry, but geography is obviously a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And history. The big one is history. You got to have some history to make a good rivalry game. And I'd also say a trophy. Can't have a good game without a trophy.
That's good. Yeah, that's true. Actually.
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
we got a lot of good rivalry games this week.
Yeah. One of my favorites because of these coaches, I like the Egg Bowl on Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Son like Saban and good old Bigfoot. That's good.
Yeah, I'm excited for the game more than anything. Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Great.
Were they both? They were both undefeated when they met last year, right?
No, because Michigan number about last year because Michigan lost at Michigan State to Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
And Ohio State had lost to someone like Oregon or whoever, I think.
Yeah, earlier in the year. Yeah,
I remember.
that was funny.
We were talking about it on our stream yesterday. I think 06 was the last time both teams were undefeated.
Yeah, it was pretty long time ago, actually.
Yeah.
We
That was
had
the game of the century. This is at least top 5. It might not be 1 versus 2, but it is top 5.
And winner has a guarantee into the playoff too.
What's that?
Winner has a guarantee into the playoff.
Yeah,
that is true.
Even if you lose a conference championship, you're 12-1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. But I should not worry, but I do worry for this week. I think the DBs for Michigan probably going to play tighter up close to, the wide receivers because they're really important to the offense, maybe the important part of the offense, probably.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do if I was the defensive coordinator. But who knows? Actually, speaking of defensive coordinator for Michigan, Jesse Minter has done a freaking pretty good job so far this season.
Yeah.
overall, I know he's from Vandy, but in the same system as last year from I forgot his name, McDonald, whatever it is. I don't know, but yeah. What makes a great rivalry? It's the fans, the history, a competitiveness of the game, and the mascots.
All right. Mascots. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like the where you see the mascots go at it and on the just for like 30 seconds of on TV.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, what do you think about the Iron Bowl? Valor, I know this is your rivalry week. Well, actually, everybody's. I should say I should not say it's yours, but everybody's rivalry week for a lot of people. But yeah,
I mean, the Iron Bowl, from my viewpoint, I think it's the biggest in college football. I mean, there's nothing like it, and it's very old. It's very historic. It had years where it was suspended, and because of player issues and fights and
Yeah.
everything like that, kind of broke out. And I mean, it can get pretty heated. I think at the end of the day, though, you do respect that people pull for a certain team, and it's all kind of fun. It's just you think about how hard it is to go on the road in college football. I mean, Alabama before winning last year at Jordan Hare, the last time they had done that was 2015. I mean, we're talking about a 6-year span, and um, just yeah, I think the biggest rivalry is the Iron Bowl. I
Yeah.
think it's close. I think we could make a case for Ohio State and Michigan.
I'd
I
agree
think
with
you can
that.
make a case. What?
I said I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I had. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I will ask you both a question and for the comment section. Most underrated
Yeah.
rivalry game.
oh,
Oh, whew, that's a good one. Honestly, with all the rivalries we talk about, this isn't my answer. But do you think? And actually, I'm going to preview this game tonight, and we could all talk about it. But do you think the Egg Bowl with Ole Miss and Mississippi State gets enough credit?
no, it doesn't.
No,
I think more of that
I
is
don't think
played on Thanksgiving though, because no one's gonna
Yeah.
watch.
Except for Ole Miss and
Yeah.
Well,
here's
Yeah.
the thing: no one's going to watch it on Thanksgiving because of the NFL,
Exactly.
right? If you play it on the Friday, they might watch it, and it might get a little bit more credit and attention.
Mm-hmm. If it's a close game, maybe, but
Yeah.
Well, it could be a close game, though. That's the thing. It could be a close game. I have it being a close game this year, in fact. And let's talk and predict this one because I want to go ahead and get this out. But the Egg Bowl with Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Ole Miss a couple of weeks ago looked like they were having the time of their life this season. And, I mean, LSU won the West. Ole Miss had a chance. Mississippi State has kind of It's been a roller coaster. What do you guys think about this year's Egg Bowl? The spread is Ole Miss -3.
That's actually pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
would
good.
I would say, but it's
I think that,
always a really good close game.
and that I think that's for a good reason. Because I like low scoring games in my opinion. Well, actually, I'll take it back. I like high scoring games come to the final wire. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be a case right there. Come to the final wire or something like that. Touchdown or field goal.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. So the matchup predictor on ESPN gives Ole Miss a 61.9% chance. You can round that to 62, leave Mississippi State with a 38% chance. The
I agree.
spread is 3.5.
Okay.
What's that?
I said I agree with ESPN there. I think that's right where
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, spread's like 3.5. It could come down to a field goal. I do expect this to be a close game. The question is, so do you think this is going to be a game where the offense is going to matter in the end, or is it going to be who can come up with the defense, do you think, if it does end up being a one possession?
Oh, I'm gonna go offense. I don't think it's gonna come down to one possession game. I think it's gonna I don't think it's gonna be much of a game anymore in the fourth quarter. I think it'll be decent, but if it did come down to it, I would say that Ole Miss is gonna get a late touchdown to win it over a stop.
See, now it's not what I expected it to be. I heard some things this offseason that Ole Miss was going to have some defense and it was going to be improved. And in a way, it's improved a little bit. They've done a good job. I think what it comes down to, though, I think it has come together in some ways this season at times. I expect Ole Miss to get the victory. I got a score prediction. I expect Ole Miss to basically have a stop on defense against Mississippi State. I'm going to go ahead and give a score prediction real quick, and we can continue talking about it. I'm going to say 35-34,
Okay.
a 1-point game. The spread is only 3. I
Yeah.
don't think Ole Miss will cover that. I think it's going to be just a little bit closer.
I'm gonna disagree with you there. I think it's gonna be 34-34 Ole Miss wins. I think it's gonna be close going into the fourth quarter, and Ole Miss will pull away and then stop Mississippi State from scoring in the fourth quarter at all.
Okay, so you think Ole Miss is gonna pull away? You could be right. I mean, both of these defenses are actually pretty even when you look at it. I will say this, where, clearly Ole Miss has the advantage on offense, talent-wise. But when you look at the stats, Mississippi State has 321 yards passing this year on average. Crazy, right? You look at Ole Miss, 227. Now, let me tell you the yards rushing. 278 for Ole Miss. That's good. This is what concerns me if I'm Mississippi State. Your yards rushing is only 77.2.
Yeah.
77. Dude, they have no run game. Now, I like their running back, Jaquavius Marks. He's got 59 carries. He's got 456 yards. He's got 8 touchdowns. They don't average well. And they also don't run the ball too much.
Yeah.
So I just think Ole Miss is the better team. This is in Oxford, by the way. So I think we could agree on Ole Miss winning. I think the question is what is it going to come down to? Does it come down to the wire? Is it a one possession? What did you say you had as the final score? You think Ole Miss kind of pulls away, right?
34-24.
34-24. I like it.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I got a little closer, but the Egg Bowl, again, this is on Thanksgiving, 7 p.m. Eastern time on ESPN. We're looking forward to it. And again, this is Sunday, so we got all week to talk college football rivalries.
Yes, we do.
I didn't get my score prediction yet, but it's fine.
Go ahead.
I think in my score prediction, I think it's gonna be close in the fourth quarter. I think in late fourth quarter, 5 minutes ago, Mississippi State has the ball in the Miss 33-yard line, and I was making this up if that happens. And they're gonna kick a field goal on 4th and 3.
Okay.
And they make it, and plus the score so far is like 31-30.
That's what the score is before the field goal?
Yeah, and Mississippi State makes it 33-34. 33 Mississippi State, and there's like 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. So Ole Miss has it. Jackson Dart, I think. Yeah.
Quarterback for Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Yep.
Jackson Dart slings it to, I don't know what the receivers are, but to who's the starting receivers for Ole Miss? I don't know, but a receiver. There you go. A receiver that is open, and they stop the clock for a minute and 9 to go, and it comes down to a wire, and they make it 34-33.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you guys this. Ole Miss is a better team, and this could be very, very close. We have Ole Miss winning. If it were in Starkville with all those cowbells,
Oh, God.
do you think Mississippi State gets it? If it's like – because I think this is one of those where and not that winning at home is an automatic, but like it's so hard to go on the road and beat your rival in the SEC. It's very hard to do. It's very hard to do that in college football. Does the home crowd play much of a factor for Ole Miss, you think, or are they just going to outright, be who they are and be that good?
So first, I'd say if this game was in Starkville, I'll take Ole Miss still by 3.
Okay.
And then to answer the Oxford question, I think that the home crowd's going to help them a little bit on defense, but they're the better team. It's that simple. The home crowd can only help. So I don't think it's going to make that much of a factor in the game.
I got you.
Yeah, same here. But yeah. Yeah, I'm actually seeing that happen. What my score prediction is, I actually see that happen. But yeah, what other games are underrated? There's a lot actually.
Underrated rivalry games.
Yeah.
I'm biased, but I'm saying Wisconsin, Minnesota.
That actually, I would fully agree with you there. That is underrated. That is underrated, man.
Yeah, hold on one sec.
Is it?
Is that the?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that the Paul Bunyan axe? Or
Yeah,
is
that
that
was going to ask too.
Yes, it is. And in that one, I think
knew it.
much more.
That is underrated. Yes.
There's much
I
more
love
of a
that.
home field advantage in that one than others.
Okay.
Camp Randall, especially, it's great. I could get my dad on here and he could talk for hours about Camp Randall Stadium and that electricity. But y'all can hear enough of that on our live streams. It's just that energy. I think Wisconsin's going to win this year just because of that. But just I'm running through the schedule this week, and I want y'all's opinion on two other games that I'm looking at. First of all, Friday, NC State, North Carolina.
Ooh.
I think that could be good.
That could be an upset right there. That could, for all we know, North Carolina could be overlooking that game.
They could.
They could be looking towards Clemson. They might not even care.
That's very true.
And NC State, what's their record? Because I know they had a good start to the season.
NC State is currently, they are. Let me go to the standings and get this for you. They're 7-4 overall, 3-4 in conference.
They have fallen off a bit.
The game is game's in Chapel Hill too.
Let's see. That's a 2:30 game on ABC. Chapel Hill. I like North Carolina in that game.
Agreed.
But don't be surprised if Dave O'Doran and Devin Leary, the NC State offense, which has not been all that explosive. Their defense is one of the better ones in the ACC outside of Clemson. I will say that. I expect them to keep it close, maybe a touchdown possession. But I think North Carolina with Drake May, who, by the way, is a 5-star, in case anyone's wondering.
Yep.
I think the Tar Heels got that one.
Yeah, I would agree there.
Yeah, that'll be watch.
And then I've got actually now on the schedule. I've got a few others. Next one I want y'all's opinions on is Notre Dame USC.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So Notre Dame upset Clemson a couple weeks ago. Y'all remember? Okay.
Yes, they did.
USC. Still, do they have two losses? Did they lose again?
No, they're 10-1, and they're set up for the playoff now at number 5.
I knew it. So USC still has something to play for. Notre Dame is on top. This is going to be good, man.
It will be.
Oh, where's the game?
It's in LA, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so that's going to be a 4:30 p.m. Pacific.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
At the Coliseum. I think it's going to be good.
So it's basically home field advantage for Southern Cal.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, give me the Trojans.
I agree.
I don't know what to predict for a score because that could be. I think there's some good defense. I will say that, but I also think there's some good offense. I won't give a specific score prediction, but at the very least, I'll say USC could win by at most maybe. I mean, they could probably win by what, 17? You think? Or
I don't think it'll be that big of a game. I think maybe a 10-point win for the Trojans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But credit to Notre Dame. They've had such a great season rebounding from the Marshall loss.
Yeah, they have.
Coming back. Next, now this wasn't an interesting game before today, I think, but with Hennon and Hooker having that ACL injury, Tennessee Vandy. Vandy's on a win streak. How close do you think that's going to be? Because I think Tennessee's going to win, but how close?
Not close in my opinion.
Well, okay. Is Hooker playing in the game?
I
No,
doubt it.
torn ACL. Torn
He's
ACL.
not playing.
I mean, if he has an ACL injury, I think he wouldn't.
So if it's torn
man.
ACL, I don't think he's playing. But
Yeah.
I think Vandy wins in my opinion because Joe Milton's playing or backup for Tennessee.
See, I don't know if I would trust him though. I don't know if I'm ready to trust him.
He's inaccurate.
I might have to take Vandy, and it might have to ruin Tennessee's season some more.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, it's historic, and we give them credit, and they did good this year. But they have ended it on a bad note, and this could be something.
I will say, though, ESPN, I'm looking at the ESPN primetime games. You're telling me that LSU Texas A&M is going to be a better game than Tennessee Vandy?
No.
Tennessee Vandy's on SEC Network.
Wow.
So
I'm so pissed, man. Look, I know people make fun of Alabama fans for crying about noon games. I'm not crying about a noon game. Why? What is it going to take to get the Iron Bowl out of the 3:30 slot? What is it going to take to make that a night game? I mean, are we having to wait till the contracts are up?
And same here. And same here for the game. I don't want to do it in the morning because what if I have work in the morning or something? Because it's getting ridiculous. Well, for you guys, it's afternoon, but yeah.
I mean, this is so. You have options at 2:30. You have Minnesota, Wisconsin at 2:30. You have the Iron Bowl. You have Oregon State. You have Kentucky, Louisville at 2. I mean, you have options outside of the Iron Bowl if you don't want to watch a bloodbath.
Yeah. Okay, I've got two more, and these are both in-state rivalry games.
Okay.
Kansas State.
Ooh.
In Manhattan, Kansas. 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. your time, Ballard on Fox, and same for you, Nate. 7 p.m. your time.
I think it's gonna be a bloodbath if this gets ugly. Yeah. I'll take Kansas State, but man, I feel bad for Kansas. They had a really good run in earlier season.
They did.
Man, if that quarterback comes back, whoo.
Yeah.
Is it Lance Leipold or whatever it is?
Leipold, yeah.
Yeah, stays out there, which is I think he will. I think they're gonna be asleep there.
This might be Kansas's last big year because I think Leipold's headed to Wisconsin. At least I want him there. But yeah, I'll take Kansas State in a close one. What do you think, Ballard?
Who's at home?
Kansas State.
Kansas State's at home.
Yeah.
Kansas State is also ranked right now, aren't they?
Yeah,
and they beat something, I don't know, called something, but like 48-0 or something like that.
They beat West Virginia 48 to what is it? Let's see.
I think it's 14. I don't know.
It was where is that on Google? 48-31. West Virginia had a whole bunch of late points.
Wow.
Actually, that's not true. It was in the first quarter. It was an insane game. First quarter, 28-19 at the end of the first. And then there were only 13 points scored in the entire second half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. I think Kansas State is going to drop off next season because but I think Martinez probably can go pro if he wanted to, or he's probably going to stay back. But I don't know. What do you think of this? If Michigan loses or wins or whatever, in my book, this is me. I don't know if it's gonna be biased or anything, but it might be. For next season, you gotta think of it. of experience wise for the preseason rankings. I know they don't mean anything or anything, but you got to think of it. Michigan has J.D. McCarthy coming back, but not Blake Corum or whatever. But the running backs, Donovan Edwards coming back. Hopefully, you have a lot of actually young wide receivers. Um, uh, Basically, some O-line coming back for.
Hey guys.
No, you're good. Hello, you're good.
No.
We hear you.
There we go. I can hear you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to close it on my computer. It was acting up, and I
Okay.
guess we don't have much Wi-Fi at the moment, so I'll have to fix the computer maybe a little later on. But what were you guys saying?
Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, I was saying that if for next year, if I know I said the preseason polls means nothing before the season, but you gotta think of it because Ohio State has no C.J. Stroud next year. They have talent in QB, but they have no playing experience, or a little bit, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You have a lot of great receivers, a lot of running backs actually coming back. I don't know. And O lineman, I'm not sure about that one, but defensive line, a lot of them are coming back this year. Next year I meant. Just keep an eye on that defense for Ohio State next year. Oh boy. It's gonna be for Michigan. Some O-line is coming back, but J.D. McCarthy's coming back.
Yep.
And hopefully, hopefully everything goes well for them next year. But I don't know why I'm talking about next year already.
Yeah. I'm gonna head out of here, but I just have before I go, I have one last question.
Okay.
The turf war, Oregon State.
Oh, the Civil War.
So I was just looking this up. They changed the name apparently to the turf war. I don't know what it's all about. But it's in Beaverton.
Okay.
So number 12 Oregon at number 23 Oregon State. Who y'all have winning and by how much?
Ooh,
that's tough. Because that could be. I'm assuming the favorite is the Ducks, right? I'm assuming that, but that could be a trap, and that could give Oregon their third loss.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the spread on that. Spread is here we go. The spread on this game is going to be. Let's get this loaded up. It's gonna say so against Oregon, 3.5 underdogs.
Wow.
Oregon State is.
Okay.
And over under 57 points total.
Dang. Well, that's kind of low, in my opinion. But I'll take Oregon State. But I wouldn't be surprised if Oregon wins. But I think Oregon State 28 to 24.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably going to go like Oregon. I'll say 31 to 20. I think they win comfortably.
Okay. Give me now again, this could be another loss for the Ducks, but I doubt it. I think it'll be a close game because I do think that Oregon State has turned some things around this year, and they've definitely competed against quality opponents. Give me the Ducks to win.
Okay.
Let's say I'm going to go 20, 28-24.
Okay.
That's what I said, but it's different teams. But that's cool. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, there's really not really much options for a score prediction. There's
yeah,
really not a whole lot of explosive offense, and there's really
yeah,
some good defense.
It's
but
true.
yeah. What I'm actually have a good question for y'all. What rivalry in your books, and or underrated rivalry that needs to come back, even though it's great, but it's underrated.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's kind of coming back. It's going to be on and off. West Virginia Pitt backyard brawl.
Okay.
It's back, but it won't be. It's going to be. I think it's here for 4 years. It's going to be 4 years, then off for 4 years, and then back on for 4 years, something like that.
I wish they would
I
keep.
want so I thought of two games that one I want back personally, and it used to be big because of the coaches at the time with Joe Paterno and Bear Bryant. Penn State, Alabama used to always be a big one. But bring me back, be real for a second. Bring back, and it's going to happen here in a few years. But can we hurry up with Texas A&M?
Yeah,
Oh my God! Yes.
Hell yeah.
that would be phenomenal. Without a doubt.
Dude, like what happened to it? They used to play all the time up until the 2010s.
I don't know.
No. And plus, it's like a big physical game every year,
Right.
and then they just screwed it up. I don't know if y'all don't
I
remember
think I
this,
know
but
what happened. Wasn't A&M in the Big 12?
Yes,
yeah,
they were.
and they
And they
were.
moved out and it pretty much stopped just because they moved over to the SEC.
I mean, it's the same dynamic as so many Big East rivalries in football that have been, especially West Virginia Pitt or West Virginia Virginia Tech. When the Big East broke up, you just see them not play anymore.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna head on out of here. Sunday Night Football coming up. I'm gonna catch that, and yeah. So have a good night, and I'll
Have
see
a
you.
good night. See you,
See you,
Sorgy.
man. Have a good one.
Man, I love this rivalry talk, man.
Yeah, I'm pumped up. And Nate, I still got you down for tomorrow. We can talk all about the game. We can give our score predictions then and talk about some key matchups and what it means to you. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
What so outside of that game, I do want to ask you personally,
Mhm.
what's the second biggest rivalry game you want to watch this weekend?
Oh, this weekend? Probably actually. Um, like me, like close game. If it's uh, not a lot of people are looking at this as a game at all. But I say Florida State and Florida.
Yes. Oh, how do we not talk about that with Sorgi? That's a good rivalry. Because okay, Florida has struggled a little bit, but they've also they've been decent with Billy Napier.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Florida State.
It's like almost 9-3, I think.
Right.
Oh my God.
The crap. What do they even call that game? The
Battle for Florida, or something like that.
Sunshine Showdown or something.
Or Governor's Cup, something like that. Sunshine Showdown or a Governor's Cup.
So you have Florida's going bowling. It won't be anything special. They are 6-5.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Florida is 6-5. This is at Doak Campbell.
Yep.
Florida State is currently ranked 19, and they're 8-3, and they're favored by 9.5.
Yep.
Give me
And
give me. I don't know if they cover. They might actually, dude. I'm gonna just be honest. I think they put a mollywhopping on Florida. I think FSU, not like 21 blowout, nothing like that, but 9.5 point. They could easily win by 10. I think straight up Florida State could probably win by 10. I'd
yeah,
say like a 31-21.
yeah, I would say that too. Um, I think this is, again. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a close game again. Well, I won't say again because I haven't seen it be close since. um, I think it's gonna be a close game. Um, at the first half, and then I think Florida State will rumble out. um, I think Florida State scores 34 and Florida 24. We'll see.
Okay,
Yeah. But yeah,
that's a good question, Sorgi. What games that aren't played on rivalry weekend but should be? He says West Virginia Pitt and BYU Utah off the top of his head. Um, they make a big deal. Now, I hope I don't tick anybody off, but do you think that they make such a big deal of the Red River rivalry that maybe
uh,
that could be a
I think so.
I mean
Uh,
Texas plays Baylor,
mhm.
Oklahoma State. Well, you can't take that away.
No.
Um
Well,
I don't know.
actually, they are basically because Oklahoma
Oh
is.
yeah, yeah.
It's so freaking sad in my opinion because as a
um
casual fan, but yeah. But I was gonna say about the forgotten underrated great rivalries. I was gonna say this real quick. Battle for Illibuck, which is Ohio State and Illinois, which is they haven't played since I think 2016 or 2017.
yep.
And I know Ohio State has a streak against Illinois, but I want that to be back because Brett Bielema is there at Illinois. He knows what to do at Illinois too because he has one of the best defensive Illinois that has had in years. Um, but yeah, if Illinois and Ohio State play today, I mean I would pick Ohio State to win, but I think if you know I would in a close game in my opinion. But yeah, I think Illinois and Ohio State rivalry should be back, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's something they should bring back. I don't know who they would play, but
Yeah,
in my own opinion, like I'm not saying you get rid of the game, but I say you move it. I don't know how I feel about Notre Dame USC on rivalry weekend.
yeah, me either. I love the
It's
rivalry.
not a
I love it.
like it's not a bad matchup. It's something you would want to watch with historic programs, but
Yeah,
on rivalry weekend, really?
I would actually say it for the next week after this one actually, because actually that wouldn't be uh that
That'd
would
be a
be
good lineup.
well actually that wouldn't be well a good weekend to do it, but because of the conference, or is it 2 weeks after the rivalry? I think the conference games. The
Conference is right the week after rivalry weekend.
Okay, never mind then, because I normally Army and Navy plays that weekend because I was thinking move USC and Notre Dame that weekend, but I said wait a minute if that's conference tie-out games that we can maybe do it Friday or Thursday or something like that. Maybe I don't know, but it doesn't feel right on Saturday. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, in my opinion, but yeah, it's weird. But yeah, hopefully I can write stuff down tonight if I'm if I'm awake. um, for tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, man, I'm so freaking pumped for this weekend. It's like what, like 6 days left or 5 days left?
Yep.
I don't know.
6 days. Well, 5 days if you want to. If you want to
Counting this
uh,
today, but
count Friday.
yeah,
Third, we really. I mean, we got college football all week to keep us occupied. So
yeah,
I think the Egg Bowl's on Thanksgiving.
that's good.
Um,
Yeah.
you have, let's see, uh,
Hmm. Let's see. Uh, Basically, all I know is the Egg Bowl uh, for this week or for this weekdays. So, um, but
who
yeah,
who wants to watch Tuesday's games, man? That's crazy.
is that like a group of five rivalries? I think.
It's like Bowling Green and Ohio, Ball State and Miami of Ohio.
Man,
Who wants to watch that disaster?
I mean,
What the?
I don't know why we don't get this respect for Group Five. I know they're pretty bad, but I mean, yes, it could be unwatchable or something like that. But but it is rivalries. But that's the best we can get ahead of the rivalry weekend. But
It's
um,
football. I'll take a football game, man.
yeah, but yeah. Hopefully you can get some rest, and I will do too. Um, I can get my notebook ready to go, and so we can talk about what stats and stuff.
Yeah, don't forget, guys. We're gonna have Nate the Great on tomorrow, and we'll be live at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 Central, to talk Michigan, Ohio State. We'll give our predictions, our thoughts, and analysis of literally the game. Which, by the way, College Game Day going to Columbus this year for Rivalry Weekend. I'm excited. We got a lot of great stuff coming to the channel this week, and yeah. Nate, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, see you, buddy.
See you, bud.
See ya.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I love you guys. I hope everyone had a great Sunday. I hope everyone has a blessed week ahead. Happy Thanksgiving too, man. Let me know what you're thankful for in the comments. And I'm definitely thankful for friends and family, and obviously here in this community, all of you guys, and college football and education, and there's a lot of things to be grateful for. God's grace, His love, His mercy, all that good stuff. And I'm excited for this upcoming weekend. There's a lot of great things ahead. Let me read this. This is let's see. I'm assuming this would be Sorgi's lineup for rivalry weekend. Okay, Friday games. Pitt, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Army, Navy. Okay. I don't know why, but I kind of like that on its own weekend, but okay. Cal and UCLA, Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, Auburn, Texas, Oklahoma. Okay. That's not a bad lineup. That's not a bad lineup. Oh, USC, UCLA. I got you. Anyway, I love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. More videos and stuff to come this week. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, folks, Ballard Sports Media is checking out. I love y'all. Peace.